Aloha and welcome. It is the 200th episode of the Friday Marketing Live Jam Session. I am so excited that you're here. Richie Cronin is here, who has probably been watching almost all of those 200 live show episodes.
Just about. I mean, it's the Friday thing. It used to be Saturday for me in New Zealand. I used to get up on a Saturday morning, love watching or love being part of the show, and it was a great way for me to start my weekend. Now I find it's a brilliant way to finish my work week. I love it.
And it's awesome to be on here, right? I mean, watching
every time
to being on, like,
so,
it's great.
Yeah.
I remember when you had the Saturday thing. I used to always make the joke of asking you what was going to happen in the future, like what's happening tomorrow, so I know what kind of day it's going to be. But, yeah.
So it's raining.
Well, it's awesome to have you here. We have a great live show lined up. We're going to talk about how to get all your prospecting done in 30 minutes or less per day. We're going to give you some specific strategies you can use. We are going to do some special giveaways for the 200th live episode of this show. We are going to be giving away $200 throughout the show. So we're going to be giving away $25 cash prizes to 6 random people as we go through. And then there's a couple of other cash prizes for some others. We got some questions to ask. It's going to be fun. If you've been on this live show a lot, you probably have a good chance to win some cash money while we're on here. So I'm going to cue up the intro, grab a cool drink. Let's have a blast on this 200th episode of the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session. I'll see you back here in one momento.
It's now time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, they've finally returned. From the sun-soaked Sin City and the sandy shores of Maui, Hawaii, now back for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam Session. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks and Remote Millionaires, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Oh, man. Listen to that crowd out there. They're fired up. 2200th episode. Holy moly. Oh, come on, settle down.
So I have to just make myself bulk up a bit, look a bit trimmer, and more muscles on muscles.
Yeah. Awesome episode. Man, it's so crazy. I see tons of people on here. Kristen says, "Yay prizes!" Awesome. David, greetings. David's in Michigan. Welcome, David. That's where our operations rockstar Cameron lives, in Michigan. I was up there for a few years before I moved back. Welcome, Enrique, Patty. I love seeing all the familiar names here. Everybody on the live show. Edgar, Mark, Howard. Welcome, everybody. Man, Dorn.
The man himself, Dorn. Yeah. Hey, I think if you haven't done the StreamYard thing, really good idea to do it, just so we can see who you are. It's accept that StreamYard, and your comments then come up, and we can see exactly who you are. So
yeah. Yep. Like when we see this means you're not, you haven't granted StreamYard access to show your picture and name. So if this is you, or if you see that, go in there and grant StreamYard permission so we can see your lovely faces. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, it's so crazy to have done, it's so funny. So I know we're going to be talking about how to get all your prospecting done in 30 minutes a day. But I want to tie this in to the 200th episode of the live show, because I think the live show, although it's not, agency prospecting, is a great example of what we're going to kind of talk about today. And that is, the live show for us has been a consistent thing we've done every single week for 4 years in our business. Every Friday, we've shown up on this live show, been here for an hour, and done it. Whether there was 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, and there weren't a lot of people in the beginning, right? Or all the way up through COVID, where there was 300 people every Friday on the live show because nobody could go anywhere, right? And now we average, 75, 100 people on the live show. So, I mean, this thing has been we've just done it consistently. And a lot of times we get guests on the live show and they're like, man, I need to be doing this in my community. And they start one up, they go for about 5-6 weeks. And then they're like, this is a lot of work. We're done. Right. So the reason I bring this up is because think about this. I know today we're going to talk about just doing prospecting for 30 minutes a day, but think about this. What if you had just picked one day a week and you spent 1 hour every week for 4 years prospecting for new business? Like, think about even just that little amount of effort, 1 hour, 1 day a week, but consistently 4 years, just keeping going, keeping trying stuff until you get your result. Like, just think about how the impact that little step would make, right? So when we talk about prospecting for 30 minutes a day, what we're really talking about is not the volume of the prospecting you're doing, although, we do have some things in place, especially Reach, which Richie is a part of, that allows you to prospect in a quicker, like more people in a quicker amount of time. But it's really not about the number of people. What really is the key is the consistency, right? And we talk about this all the time. Remote Millionaires to Remote Millionaire members, like, forget about trying to contact 100,000 businesses. Make the priority just making sure you're doing prospecting Monday through Friday. Like, make sure at least Monday through Friday, you or someone is prospecting for you consistently, right? Like, that is the first hurdle to overcome. You just give up on how many messages you're sending out, and you just say, look, I'm just going to make sure it's consistent. So the first tip I'm going to give you guys for doing this, and then we'll let Richie do the next ones, is this. Because when I was trying to build my agency, I had a job, then I didn't have a job. So I was trying to do this all together, so my time was sparse. So there are two things that I did. One was I would batch my time. So I would spend time on Saturdays and Sundays getting everything ready for the prospecting I was going to do the following week, whether that be email or direct mail, whatever I was using at the time. I would spend Saturday, Sunday getting everything ready, and then I would set it up through automations to happen during the week while I was working and doing other stuff. So I did that. That's a really good way to do it. And then every day I would get it out of the way first thing in the morning. So I would get up in the morning. I'd spend 30 minutes looking at what was going on, do whatever I needed to do. Like, these are the messages I'm sending out today. In the beginning, I just started with 5 a day. Like, my goal was just to send out 5 prospecting messages into the wild, whether it be, again, an email, a direct mail, or a phone call. I was going to do 5 a day. And I just did that every day for a while. And I started to get traction not because of the amount I was doing, but because of the consistency of doing it. And you just start to figure out, like, oh, I need to try this. I need to try that. Like, this isn't working. How can I get their attention? How can I get the person to call me back? Like, you're just putting that time into it. So the first thing, the first tip I would give to you is to be able to batch things up, preparation. That way you can spend just 30 minutes doing it each day, but the consistency is the key.
Yeah, absolutely. And even after this time, I've got my prospecting to get done for the rest of the day. I've got 5 videos to make and send out, because I do it every day. It's not something you can skip over. Your business grinds to a halt if you don't do it. It's a discipline you just got to install. And I find I actually prefer doing it in the afternoon. It suits me more. It's how I manage my time, because if I do it at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, I wind up getting sidetracked with something else, and I don't get the rest of those jobs done. So, book out that time, make sure you stick to it, and the consistency will always bring results.
Yeah, I agree with I mean, that's a great point you made there. It's not, and it, a lot of people get caught up in, like, the 5 a.m. club, the early morning, like, really what works is, like, when you will actually get it done, right? It's like they say when you're, what they say about a diet. What's the best diet? The best diet is the one that you'll actually follow, right? Like a diet does you no good if you're like, oh, I'm on this diet, but then every time you turn around, you're eating something that's not on the diet, right? So prospecting is the same way. What's the best prospecting method? When's the best time to prospect? Like all of that is like the answer to that is whatever one you will actually get done. So if you are somebody who's super busy, and you don't have a lot of time during the week, maybe you should be doing something like a cold email outreach, because that's something you can schedule and automate while you're doing the other things you need to do, right? If you're someone who has a lot of free time and you're like, look, I'm just sitting around, I want to go meet people face to face, I want to attend networking events, do that. If it's actually something that you will go do, that's what you want to do, right? The best prospecting method is the one that you will do. And that's really, I know we always want to think like there's got to be some secret one, but there's not. I've used a lot of different ones, and I've always had success with the ones that I've actually implemented.
Yeah. And as you say, there's no one dynamic that works across everything. It's the only one dynamic that works across everything is consistency. That's it. Whether you're making phone calls, sending emails, whatever you're doing, you're going to send an email. Don't just think the job's done, because you've got to follow it up. That's how you convert. So and that we do happen to have a particularly good system that has a lot of automation in that and works really well for delivering that, especially for busy people. Yeah, there's plenty of work in getting it set up, but once it's set up, that's a machine that will just keep on doing the heavy lifting for you and give you that consistency.
Yeah, and this is something
obviously I'm talking about the Reach program, Tom. I am very biased towards Reach because I think it's the greatest thing for digital marketing that's certainly in 2023. So I'm very biased.
Well, you may be biased, but it's the truth. I mean, there's a reason why we've made that kind of the prospecting method of choice inside Remote Millionaires, and why we're starting to direct everybody to make sure they have that set up and running, because it is, the consistency is so important. And when you have a process where you can do that, and we talk, this is a big focus in Remote Millionaires, because we have the 3 pillars of an agency, right? So we've got prospecting, and what does that mean? That means consistent prospecting has to be happening Monday through Friday, whether it's you doing it or someone else doing it, but it has to be happening. And then, the second pillar is the fulfillment, and the third pillar is the processes and the scaling side of things. And here's the thing, the scaling side, the implementation of the SOPs, even the fulfillment side is very hard to figure out when you don't have the deal flow going. So the faster you can get your deal flow going, the easier it is to grow your fulfillment and your systems and processes, because you actually need them. It's very hard to set all that stuff up when you have no clients. Maybe some of you have experienced this. The reason it's difficult is because you don't have anything going on. And so trying to set a system up for something that's not happening is a challenge. It's a challenge. But once you have some consistent prospecting happening, it gets easier to set up a system. Let's just take follow-up for an example. You could spend all your time being like, okay, I'm gonna do this method to reach out. Let's just say you're gonna send email, or let's just say email. Okay, now I want to plot out a whole follow-up process for this person. When I do this, like, you could spend all your time figuring out how you're going to follow up, but if you're not doing the initial outreach, you're not going to do it, right? So you have to make a general plan in the beginning, but you want to just make enough of a plan so that you can start reaching out. Because I guarantee you, when you start reaching out, the follow-up process is going to change, because you're going to discover I think something else would work better here. Oh, I'm getting this a lot, so I need to change this part of it. And you can't do that when you're not actually prospecting. So the big key to most of this is just getting traction, getting going, and then you're kind of figuring it out and adjusting along the way. And I know some of you out there are planners and you love to plan everything out and you want to have everything figured out. But I will tell you this, that saying is very true about no plan survives contact with the enemy. Like, it doesn't matter how thorough you plan things out. Once you actually start executing, things are going to change. I guarantee you. So don't get so wrapped up in being perfect out of the gate that's an issue, right?
Yeah, move forward, keep taking steps, because you can spend forever trying to make it perfect before you press the go button. Whereas the trick is to press the go button and then make it perfect. It's people, and I think people use it as an excuse to say, "Oh no, I'm not ready," because they're nervous about people. And we all, as human beings, we fear the word no. We fear rejection, and that, especially in digital marketing, we're fearing people going, "Oh, I don't want you, go away." So it gives us a reason to keep on making sure we've got something else to do before we actually have to get to that contact point. So, you've got to press the go button and get everything sorted out as much as you can before you press the go button, but don't let it delay you from moving forward, because you will fall those things. They happen even quicker and better once it's live and once it's out there. So encouragement, go out there and get it done. Absolutely
true. And what's the thing that holds most people back? The fear, right? The fear of talking, the fear of not being confident in what you're doing. And there's, only one way to get over that. Get out there and execute. All right. So look, I want to do something because this is the 200th. Did we say that? It is the 200th.
Not 199. No, that was last week.
It's this week. It has been amazing to see how this show has grown over time. Like, you probably remember this, Richie. In the beginning, it's like me and Nick on a live stream, just chit-chatting. We had crummy cameras. We didn't have no thought in our background. There were now we have graphics. We've got dual screens. We have a theme song. We have an intro. We have an outro. Someone on our team, there's show notes. You guys don't ever see this, but Shushan, she makes show notes. So every day before the live show, I can open up the show notes and see what we're going to talk about. And everything's just ready to go, right? There's a whole little infrastructure behind that. Now, this is another great example of what we were just talking about. We just got the live show off the ground in the beginning. That's all we wanted to do. We're just going to start doing this every Friday. That was our only goal. As we kept going, then it was like, oh, maybe we should upgrade our cameras. Maybe we should add some better, maybe we should make it look a little better. Maybe we should get some show notes. Maybe we should have a format. I remember all these conversations Nick and I had. It's been the same way in the agency. The agency, that is exactly how that works. We start getting clients we've got all these clients come in for websites. We should probably figure out how to make more money from those clients that are coming in. Oh, well, why don't we start offering SEO? Oh, why don't we start offering Google paid ads? Why don't we start offering social media? We're getting all these clients. It's a lot to manage. Well, we should probably figure out how to manage those clients. What's our process? How do we onboard them? What information do we need from them? Now we're bringing in the team. How's the team going to communicate? Right? All of that stuff that is, by the way, all of these things that I'm talking about, the processes, the systems, all the stuff we built out, that's what people get inside Remote Millionaires. So we give them all that and we help them set it up for themselves and get traction and all that.
And some. Yeah, it's that's just the tip of the iceberg.
But that's how all that stuff comes out, right? Yeah. It all works the same regardless of the type of business you're in. So anyway, that being said, we are going to give away some money right now.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got your chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Somebody said they're getting multi-reminders that we're having a live stream. Yeah, that's another system that we put in place, right? Multi-reminders, SMS reminder, it's just such a great example. And I can give you a lot of examples of this in the agency too, because we do the exact same thing. And we say this all the time to Remote Millionaires. Don't get wrapped up in what our business looks like today. because the way our business looks today is not how it started out. So when you're a Remote Millionaires member and you're just getting in and getting going, your business is not going to look like our business because you're just getting going, but that's okay. Like, you just follow the process, the steps, and do the things that we show you, and you will eventually get there. So, okay. All right. The money song. That's another one, right? We tried to get rid of it. There was almost an uprising inside the Facebook group. So we brought it back. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I've got a question. Who, and the first person to answer this is going to get a $25 cash prize. Who was our first guest ever on the Marketing Jam session? It's not Kevin. That's Nick's dog. Does anybody know who our first guest ever on the Marketing Jam? Jim. Somebody said Jim Buffett. Nope. Oh, it wasn't David Sprague. It wasn't Richard Nixon. Oh, there's going to be two winners.
Wasn't me, because I didn't join until about sort of 30, 40 episodes in. But really have I missed one since. Rod Stewart, that's a great answer.
Let's see. I will give you guys a hint on who our first guest was. You probably know him by a different name than his real name. And he's also the person that I learned I used to use a prospecting strategy that would bring in multiple clients all at once with direct mail. And I actually learned it from him.
Did you have Rich back then?
I see Doug Page. Doug Page. He got the first name. All right. I see Doug Page and Jacqueline Heath. Jacqueline has been pretty much, he's talking about Jake, and then Jacqueline got him both right there. Jake, Bob Ross. Crazy. Like,
yeah. Hell of a guy. What baby number 11 on the way?
Yes. That guy can't stop having kids. I don't know what the deal is.
Well, that's, I mean, at the end of the day, it's an in-house labor source, isn't it? So, why not?
Yeah. So I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to pick random people to get it. Our first one, who did I say? It was Doug Page. He was first, right?
Yep.
And then Jacqueline, I got her for the next one. Awesome. Okay. We're going to be doing some more of those as we go through the live show. So stay tuned. We will do some more. David said kids used to be a great tax deduction. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Okay, let's do some shark shout outs. And then we'll take some questions from you guys and we'll talk about that a little bit. So let me fire up the shout outs here. I want to go through our wins. So we do these every Friday. We like to share the wins that the people in our community get inside the Facebook group. So here we go. These are the shark shout outs for the 200th episode. Big Al, he sold 27 packages since he first started at the beginning of the month. He grossed $5,300, just a little over $5,300, and his profit is $3,375. Basically, this is what he's doing. He's building a list, cleaning it, loading in it to go high level. He runs a text campaign and then just talking to the interested people. Very simple, right?
Very effective. I actually had a chat with him the other day, Tom, Big Al, and what he's doing is a really clever strategy. It's very localized, and he's capitalizing on it as well, and that's because he's taking action. It's brilliant.
Yeah, really, really great. Joanne Westwood sold a $5,000 website plus 2 social media management accounts, $300 a month for each. Awesome stuff.
It just doesn't surprise me at all because, again, another action taker. Joanne just doesn't sit still. She's working late into a Sunday night most weeks and taking action. And she's very consistent too. Hence, there's the delivery. The deals come through. It's great. Congratulations, Joanne.
Yeah, it's been great watching both of them, Big Al and Joe, and it's been great watching them kind of start to get traction and blossom and do things inside Remote Millionaires. So really great stuff. Nick Ponte Marketing. We upsold a current client, a helicopter tour company on the island of Kauai, to a $7,000 PPC campaign. Good close deal right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Absolutely
talk
brilliant.
a little bit more about that in a second, kind of what's going on in the agency. But that's a combined total of $17,973 for the week of September 16th through the 22nd. It's a grand total since the start of 2023 of $1,191,793. So congratulations out there. We're
Well, and
close
Tom,
in on the 2 million mark. So awesome stuff.
Tom, let's make sure everyone knows not to do what I do, because I didn't report my wins this week. But and that, hey, they're only small wins. I got a couple of free premium listings
Richie.
away. My bad, you know. Excuse me.
What are they?
And then I use the excuse I've been busy, but you know, you're not busy enough to report your success, because success breeds success. We have to, you know, sharks need to be contributing to it and just saying, here's my win this week. And it doesn't matter if it's a $50 win. I had a couple of $50 wins this week, and here in East Nashville in my backyard. Actually, it's a business not 100 feet from where I'm living, standing right here, that brought a premium listing. So, you know, and it was through cold email outreach again, you know, and you know, those are the little wee wins. They make a difference as well, and we do want to hear about them, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And make sure you get those to Shushan so we can celebrate them too next week. Awesome stuff. All right, let's do.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then your talking don't matter.
Oh, you remember when everyone thought that was me laughing in the money song? There was a conspiracy theory that it's me laughing during the money song. Remember we've been doing this live show so long, we have conspiracy theories. I mean, that's great, right? I mean, that's great. And
of which there'll be many. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what makes
I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories about Nick. And certainly Kevin and Patches have got their own, like almost their own social media following.
They know they know our dogs, you know. But what's really made the live show great is all of you guys out there, you know. I mean, even in the beginning when there was just a few people showing up every Friday, it was still always fun because the people that showed up were engaged. They asked questions, they made comments. Like, it was just a lot of fun, which kept us, you know, to push to keep doing it. Right. And then, you know, here's another thing about, you know, because we're talking about and then I'll ask the question. I'll ask the question here in a minute. But here's another thing about what we were talking about, the 30 minutes a day of prospecting and the consistency. And something else that comes when you do that is every once in a while, you get lucky because something changes in the environment that is beneficial to what you're doing, and you just get really lucky. So I'll tell you, one of those things that happened for us was we had the live show. There really wasn't a lot of people coming every week. I mean, we were getting a few, and like I said, a lot of the same people, great engagement. We were still loving doing it. But then COVID happened. COVID like changed the live show because we went from, you know, a handful of people to there was sometimes over 300 people on that live show every Friday. And if we hadn't been doing it, like we never would have thought to start that, right? Like, oh, maybe I guess we would, but like it still would have been a struggle. But like because we already had it going, because we already had a little bit of traction, when that happened, it was just like boom. And then as COVID went away and went down, like the live show has still held on. Like, look, we still have, I mean, there's 91 people on here right now. 91 people hanging out on a Friday talking about local marketing. Dorn, of course, left his typical, I'm guessing that was you, right, Dorn? Yes. Dorn left his angry face. So when we were first doing the live show, I would look up there and I would see that angry face. And I was like, I'm thinking, who the heck made an angry face? Like, who's mad? Like, what did I say that ticks somebody off? Then I realized that you could hover over those and it shows you like who did what. Like I can see that Marion, Doug, and Bob gave us some love. I can see that Patty and Regina did some likes. And now I can see that it was Dorn who made the angry face. And I was like, oh, it's Dorn. It was so funny because I was irritated for a little bit until I figured out it was him. By the way, there's 90 people on here, 91 people on here. Give us some thumbs up. Give us some love. Don't, if somebody else, okay. I saw it go to 7 and I was like, oh, did somebody else do an angry face? Give us some loves and some likes. Some loves and some likes. And we're going to give away another $25. So,
exactly. We're literally buying likes, aren't we, Tom?
We need to pile on the likes. Like, we should be getting a lot of likes. We're having some fun, right? We're having some fun. Okay. Who knows which guest has appeared most often on the Friday marketing jam session? Is there one face, one name that you think like, oh, you know, I've seen them quite a bit on the live show? Yeah, Kristen, that's right. I was just $10. Smash that like button. Oh, hold on. I see somebody got it. I gotta try to look and see who got it first. It looks like Megalodon Dorn.
It was Dorn.
Dorn got it first.
Sorry.
Yep. So is David Sprague. He has been our biggest guest, and right below Dorn. Actually, here I want to go and find somebody down the list. Here we go. Dorn and Bob. You guys got a $25 cash prize coming your way. So, by the way, if you win, our team will reach out to you. You can just share your Cash App info or maybe PayPal. We can get you taken care of. So, congratulations. Awesome. Awesome. Here. Let's give you. Hold on. Let me give you guys some applause. There you go. You can barely hear it. There we go. Yes. Good job. Good job.
And the other thing about David Sprague, you know, there's a guy with a whole bunch of tools and systems that's all about, again, today's topic, consistency and dedicating some time to it. You know, so he's a great promoter of that, and you know the benefits that come from using those kind of things to build your business and the disciplines that are offered in those systems and tools. That's the key. That's how you make money.
Yep. Well, you know, and David loves coming on the live. He always, every time he comes on the live show after it's over, he's like, oh my God. He's like, your people, he's like, they ask such great questions. He's like, I had so much fun on the live shows every time he comes on, you know, which is really great. And, you know, thank you guys all for being such a great audience when we bring people on, right? You ask good questions. It's like you pay attention. It's really awesome to see all that stuff. It's so funny. I remember way before I ever thought I would be in something like Offline Sharks, I saw a video of David Sprague opening a marketing package and talking about it. And I thought, man, that guy has it together, you know? And here probably, well, this has been a long time ago, 20 years later, now we're doing some strategic partnerships with the guy. So pretty crazy.
Yeah. But some people are a natural showman. You know, and I think David really typifies that. You know, he's got that charisma that comes off well on camera.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. All right.
Whereas me, I've still got a face for radio, Tom.
Yeah, that's what I say. I have a face made for radio. I mean, look, we've got sound effects. Like, it's crazy. Even the graphics for the shout outs, like, that's another thing where we didn't even we weren't even keeping track of wins until like a couple of years ago. And then we're like, should we be keeping track of this? We're like, probably so. And then, you know, Shushan, she got added to our team, and her making the show notes and the graphics and all the stuff that just makes the live show look amazing. You know, it's really awesome to look back over, you know, the evolution and the growth of it and where we're at and what we're doing. And we've had some pretty big names on the live show. We've had Brian Kurtz was on the live show. Well, that's the only big name I can think of. Nick and I are on the live show every week, of course. I mean, we're pretty big names, right?
Yeah.
Right? And we've had a lot of people from the community on too as guests, talking about what they've been doing, sharing their experience. You know, I think this is something that we've been talking about internally because I don't know if you guys know this, we spend a lot of time talking about you. Like, I was just thinking about you in the shower the other day, as a matter of fact. Right? Like, have you ever seen that email headline? I was thinking about you in the shower. And it was like, that used to be a famous email headline. It was like, but I was thinking,
that'll get your attention more than your Google is broken.
Yeah, Rich Sheffrin. Oh yeah, Rich Sheffrin. We had Rich Sheffrin on. Yeah. We've had Jeff Hershey. We've had Bob Ross. We've had Joe Troyer. We've had Rob Warner. Man, we've had David Sprague, and we've had his business partner John Donges on. We've had just lots of Bob Jake, Bob Ross has been on. So lots and lots of people. Anyway, Mike Cooch has been on. That's right. Like, thank you, Patty.
Herc. Is it Herc and
Herc, Magnus, and Todd?
Guys, yeah, that. And what about the? I did the fulfillment system. What can't I remember?
Paul James has been on here. Lucy.
Yeah, Paul James. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yep.
Paul James. Yeah, Paul James. We've had all of our remote millionaires, success coaches, our remote millionaire subject matter experts have been on here. Lucy, Laura, Jason obviously comes on. Like, there's just been a lot of great stuff. I'm really excited. This is one of the things that we've been talking. This is what the point I was going to make. Like, one of the things that we talk about internally a lot, like I said, is you all out there. How can we best serve you? What are the things that you're asking about, the problems you're having, the things we see in the group? Like, how can we help do those things? And also too, how can we further that sense of community and support? Like, I mean, anyone who comes in our Facebook group is just always like, oh my God, this is like one of the best Facebook groups ever because of the interaction. I mean, just the free sharing of information and people share things that are such good value, right? And such smart posts. It's like we're talking about, well, how, this Friday marketing Aloha jam session is really your show. I mean, it's really the community's Aloha Friday marketing jam session, because we celebrate your wins. We celebrate the questions and the things you're going through, right? We always tell people, like, if you're experiencing problems, let us know. Maybe we can talk about those on the live show, right? Help you figure out a solution. Like, here's a place where you have access to people like Richie and Jason and Nick. And I think Dorn's even been on it. Like, people that know what to do in an agency situation, right? Laura, all the other people behind the scenes, Jason Canigan, Nick Luisi, our sales experts. Like, we have access to all those people. And here on Fridays, for an hour, like, you can tap into their information. So if you ever are struggling with something or you want some direct help, just let us know and be like, hey, can you talk about this on the live show? How would you handle this? How would you fix this?
Exactly. And that's the beauty of ask in our Facebook group, #ask, and fire away. And, and if it's something that you think, other people must have encountered this, search it, search the ask. And things like we get a number of consistent questions in there. What payment system should I use? And that's been answered several times. But it's a pain point for people trying to establish a business, already running a business, is I really need to make sure I've got the right payment system. What is everyone else using? And that information's already there. But when we see something come along that is like a real pain point or a roadblock, and you've asked away and stuff and that, yeah, it'll be addressed. We will talk about it and we'll cover it off because that keeps everyone moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things we've been talking about this live show is like, how can we make this show even more the community show? Because at the end of the day, the show really isn't about Nick and Tom. Like, I mean, we're just the guides, the hosts. Like, we don't want this show to be about us. I mean, I know we're on here every week and we share information and all that stuff, but we really want it to be about you guys and helping you get the things you want. And, one of the things that we've always tried to do in Offline Sharks is, like, yes, we sell things, right? I mean, all of you know that. We sell things. We do product launches. We have webinars. We have software tools. We have a high ticket coaching program, which, by the way, shameless plug, we're running we've opened up some spots. We're getting ready to close them off. I think tomorrow is the last day to get in applications. So we sell things inside the community, but we also spend time thinking about how to share free things because, look, I remember when I was getting started, I never had the resources to buy something on a webinar. It was very rare that I did, right? Very rare. So I remember that. And I always remember that feeling of like, oh, I really need this, but I just can't get it, you know? So we really do put effort into giving a lot of free stuff. Like, you know, we have a free Shark Alliance membership that has, that's got, you know, it doesn't have everything that the regular Shark Alliance has, but it's got, you know, it's got some stuff in it to help you get started, to help you get going. There's tons of free content posted in the Facebook group. You know, sometimes we do free trainings. And then, you know, back to this point about the live show, like this really could be a place, or we've always kind of thought of this as a place where you all can come and get free coaching, right? Because like maybe you don't have the funds to join something like Remote Millionaires, but you're having specific problems in your business. Well, come to the live show. Like that's why we always do like free trainings and different calls with various things, because we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to ask those questions and get that help, right? And because we know how frustrating you can be without that. So anyway, I just want to get that there. So that's probably one of the things you're going to see as we move forward with the live show is more ideas and things to try to get everyone involved in the live show and make it more of the community, right? Maybe with just community members hosting it sometimes and just talking about certain things inside the Facebook group. So I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I want to do too here, and then we're going to ask another question. So let's see. So we've picked 4 winners so far. So we have 2 more. Okay. So I have 2 more questions. So we'll do 1 and 1. And then, and then we'll do 1 and 1. So, but before I do that, before I get to those, I want to do a couple things. So one is, I mentioned Remote Millionaires. So if you want a kind of behind the scenes look at what happens in Remote Millionaires, what people learn, what goes on in there, we did this, a free training not long ago with several of the members inside Remote Millionaires. So, and it was them talking about what they're learning, what they're doing, what they're implementing, all that kind of stuff. So if you want kind of a sneak peek, a behind the scenes look at what goes on in there, you can go to offlinesharks.com/inside RM and get an idea and see all of that. So don't go there now. You know, we'll be off here in about 15 minutes. So, but at some point, just go to offlinesharks.com/inside RM and check that out. Now, I'm going to scroll across the bottom of the screen a link to put an application into Remote Millionaires because it's application based. The reason we do that is because we do have to make sure Remote Millionaires is a fit, right? Like it's not right for everybody. Not, you know, so sometimes people apply and we tell them like, look, we just don't think you're quite ready for this. You should probably start here, or let's work on this, you know, but this would just, you know, really not be effective for you. And we don't want that, right? Like we want people to come in, get value and be able to take action and do things. So if you want to get an application in before the close date, which is tomorrow night at midnight, go to offlinesharks.com/RM info. So I'm going to let that scroll across the bottom while we do the rest of this. And Richie, let's do this again.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
We're getting a
I'd be able to use $100 notes, Tom, but my wife doesn't let me have my own money. She takes it all off me.
Smart.
So
That's smart of your wife. That's smart of your wife. Yeah, we're getting a
She
healthy dose
does
of the money
spend it. The amount
today.
of Amazon parcels that have arrived at my house this week. You know, I mean, they pull up with a van load. You know, it's just constant knock at the door. There's another one there. Unbelievable.
Well, hey, my wife told me she was going to Macy's right before I started the live show. So I'm like, oh, like, you gotta have to go put a hold on all the credit cards. Like, no. So, all right, so we're gonna ask another question here. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Okay. Before this is one for people that have been around for a while. Before we made this the Friday jam session, our first 8 shows were on a different day of the week. Does anybody know what day of the week the first 8 shows were on? Oh, the YouTubers. I mean, I see, Kim, I see your response. If you answer in the comments, if you answer the question in the comments, Patty says, I only remember Friday.
Patty, you and me both. I missed these. So this is going to be a good one.
Yeah. Well, I see people are just starting to put in days of the week. It wasn't Tuesday. It wasn't Wednesday. It wasn't Thursday. It wasn't Monday. That should tell you, like, we're getting pretty limited there. We know it wasn't Friday. Oh, nope, it wasn't Tuesday. Somebody's bound to get it. There's only 7 days. You got to eventually put them all in. Oh, Edgar.
Hey.
Edgar. That's right. Oh, no. Look how fast it changed.
Yeah, it's probably, hang on, let me see if I can grab Edgar.
I had him and then it was gone. There we go. Oh, and then we'll do one from YouTube too. I see Patty got it from YouTube.
She said, well, hang on. Did she put it in there? Yeah.
So Edgar, Saturday, and then Patty. You can see the little YouTube thing there. Oh, whoops! See the little YouTube thing there.
No, that was me doing that.
That's okay. Patty got so yes. Saturday. We originally were doing them every Saturday, but after the first 8 shows, we changed it to Friday. Oh, sorry. Look, that's Nick. That's Nick calling me. Hold on.
Okay. I thought it might have been the wife
Nick.
at Macy's.
Nick.
Yeah. Hey, I found a really nice ring.
But I'm on the live show right now. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
It's the 200th episode today.
I just wanted to call in.
He just wanted to call in, he said. He said he just wanted to call in. Look, I'll call you when I'm done.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Did he know it was Saturday? Did he know the first 8 shows were Saturday? I guess he probably knew the answer.
Yeah. Saturday. So awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Patty, Jacqueline, they all said hi, Nick. Yep. He's hard at work.
I'm glad it wasn't your wife saying, Tom, I need another credit card.
Yeah. We could have been a little worried there, right? Could have been worse.
I love it when my wife comes home from like Macy's or something like that and says, I brought this and it was on sale. It was 60% off. And I still, reminded that it was still 40% on. So, yeah, she doesn't see it that way. She goes, I saved 60%, so you still spent 40. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. This is what Miranda tells me. Miranda says, "Listen, Tom, I don't tell you how much money to make. You don't tell me how much money to spend." I'm like, okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey, so somebody was asking if Nick became a father yet. He has not. So the new addition to the Ponte family is due in October. So
yes, going to be another good-looking Libran, much like someone else I know. And that's very exciting. Look, him and Sloan must be getting really excited. That's only a few weeks away. So yeah, fantastic, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, really great. So does anybody have any questions about the prospecting? One thing too I want to mention, because I didn't, I talked about the consistency and the 30 minutes a day and doing all that stuff, but I also want to talk about how you can use automation to help you out. But automation may not be what you're thinking. So there are a couple of different ways that automation can happen. So one is if you're using something like email, you can automate messages to go out at certain times. You can automate your booking process to schedule a meeting. So this is something that can be good for people that have a regular job or you're tight on time through the week, is selecting, some specific days that you can actually do, face-to-face conversations with potential prospects. And then, creating a booking link so that people can go and book those links and you can get on calls with them. I used to always think like, oh, when somebody calls me, I got to answer the phone right away. I have since learned that's not the case. Like usually I want to make sure I'm in a good headspace and place to talk to a potential client. So this can be the simple automation part for you, which I don't know if this is really automation, but we'll just lump it in there. Like I said, whenever a potential prospect would call me, I would always answer the phone right away, regardless of where I was. I found out pretty quickly that was a mistake because sometimes they have questions and I need to really pay attention. So now I let all those calls go to voicemail. That way I can call them back on my terms when I'm in an area that's quiet, when I have a notepad down next to me, right? So I know sometimes we feel the need to rush to get back in touch with people, but it doesn't have to be instantaneous. Like as long as you get back with them within a reasonable amount of time, you want to do that. And I see lots of other people on here saying that they do that. Soci Spy, Edgar, is still a great method for building your list. Yeah. Yep. Still a great thing.
Somebody Patty, Patty asked me a question. Am I still doing, or do I still love video email? Yeah, I do. It's one of the techniques to use. There's cold email outreach we do in the Reach system. But I certainly, when I go back to someone and I've already got a little bit of information, I've created a little bit of warmth in that relationship, then I find a video email works really, really well because it offers personality, and the more personality you offer your communication, the better it is, and the more genuine it becomes as well. So I find you get a better uptake from doing those things. But I think straight out of the gate, you've never met someone and stuff, and you send them a video, chances are they're going to look at it as being very virus or spammy and not open it. So you got to kind of get that door open already and then use things like that. And there's no one technique that works across the whole market. It's about finding the right thing to use with the right people at the right time.
Yeah, those little video audits, we put out a course a long time ago called Remote Prospecting System. Those little video audits, we still do those today. We still use them. We still teach that in Remote Millionaires too. Those little video audits are great. And that's another good example of how you can use automation because when I talked about batching, that's another great method that you can batch. So you say, okay, so you might do it this way. So you say, okay, well, on Friday when I get home from work, or Saturday. So Saturday morning, I'm going to get up. I'll make a list of all the people I want to do video audits for. Then Saturday afternoon, I'll shoot 5 video audits. And then Sunday morning, I'll shoot 5. And Sunday night, I'll shoot 5. When you batch them like that, if you spend a little time figuring out, I would just create a spreadsheet, right? And then okay, here's the client, here's the things I'm going to talk about in the audit. So you're kind of giving yourself notes so that when you sit down to record them, you can just bang them out one after the other. Then you get those out. So that's 15 video audits that you can then schedule through email to go out on automations. And that type of thing can work as well.
Excuse me.
Oh, you're going to sneeze there, Richie.
Do you know what? And then do you know what I'd do after I've done those 15 video audits, Tom? And that weekend, I'd send them out. And then after one day, I'd send a text message. You know it manually. Send a text message from your phone saying, "Hey, it's such and such. Did you get my email with the video about your website or about whatever it was?" Send them a text message. Because that's the kind of way you get someone to actually put eyes on it and go, "Oh, I might have a look at that then," rather than ignoring it.
Yeah, this is a great question from Sandy. She said, what email automation do you recommend that you can schedule emails to God if you don't have high levels? So Sandy, there are a ton of options. So if you don't have, really what you're looking for is an auto responder, right? Something, an auto responder. For a long time, we used the granddaddy of them all, and now, Aweber.
Mixmax.
No, we used Aweber. Aweber is like an email autoresponder that's been around forever. The great thing about Aweber is like you just really never have any issues with them. I mean, they're great. We've used Constant Contact. We've used there's one that's like a monkey. What's that one called with the monkey?
MailChimp.
MailChimp. Those are all simple ones. So so here's the thing. I want to tell you guys something though, because Dorn brings up a good point. This is important. Almost all autoresponder companies have in their terms of service that that you can't spam. Spam is part of a thing. So like you want to just be cognizant of what you're doing with cold email. You don't want to use any of them to be sending out thousands and thousands of cold emails every day. Like you want to be smart about it. You want to use them the way they're intended. Send 10, 20, like maybe don't send more than 50 emails a day. Like just make it like you're doing a regular thing, right? Unless you're going to build a list inside. Now, there's also some plugins that will allow you to do scheduling stuff with Gmail as well. So, I mean, and I forget what the name of that one is. But there's one I know that like sets it up with Gmail. Somebody mentioned ActiveCampaign. So look, we use ActiveCampaign for a lot of stuff, but we didn't start with it because ActiveCampaign has a lot of things in it. Like it's got a lot. Like it was overkill. It's overkill for what most people are doing. Like now, because we do multiple segmenting and we've got a lot of stuff going on, especially at Offline Sharks. ActiveCampaign is what we use there. So, but for a long time we didn't need it. Like we didn't get ActiveCampaign until we actually like needed it. We're like, oh, we need a better way to segment and figure things out and stuff like that. So, anyway, okay, awesome. Let's. I want to do one more money
for everything, Tom. And you'll never stop answering the question of what to use with that. But hey, you just got to try something out, and if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're doing those 15 emails, maybe just send them from your email account. Just send a personalized email. To get started before you need to go and buy a tool or even even engage in a free tool.
Yeah, or
you can get started with just what you've got.
Absolutely. Richie, you hit the nail on the head. Absolutely. Start with what you got. You can always change and upgrade. We've went through so many, I'm going to tell you right now, like we've went through so many email systems over the years. Like you more than likely are not going to stick with the first one you're using either because your needs are going to change. In the beginning, you don't need all of that stuff, but as you grow and things get more complicated, you do. So yeah. Until you get the volume.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money.
Dollar. Ching, bling, bling, chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
There, howdy, partner.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like it. I
haven't got the boots on, but I've got the hat.
I've got one more question that we're going to do here. One more question. How much revenue did we generate as a group in the year 2022? Not what I shared on today's live show. That was 2023. How much revenue did the group report as wins in 2022?
Well, how much are we giving away this time, Tom?
$25.
$25. Righto.
$25. And while you guys are putting that in, somebody is so close. We may take somebody that's close if we don't get it exactly. Also, too, there's been a lot of different segments over the years in the live show. We have the member of the week, which we have one this week. We do. Let's celebrate this while I'm waiting for the answer. You can look through there, Richie, and see if somebody gets the right answer. If not, we'll go with the closest.
Oh, bingo! We've got one.
Hold on. Oh, who got it? Who is that?
We don't know.
They're not signed in. Who is that?
Oh, so that's a no-go then.
No, we can use them, but I just need to know somebody on the team. Can you tell me who that is? All right. While you're doing that, whilst the team is telling us who that is, I want to do this real quick. Every week, we like to celebrate a member of the week for being a good steward of our community. This week's member of the week is Miss Joanne Westwood. Joanne, congratulations. You're member of the week for all the progress you made in the last few months, being intentional about doing the revenue-producing activities to get the results you want. So congratulations, Joanne. We have a shark. I mean, look, here's another evolution of the live show. We've got a freaking swag box that goes out to members of the week. Listen to that. Lots of goodies in there. Only the people that get it know what's in it. But Joanne, you've got one of those coming your way. We've had member of the week. Another segment we used to do was What's Tom's Reading? I used to pick a book every week. Somebody, I think Patty asked me about that. I've been reading Made to Stick again. You ever read that, Richie?
Story of a Glue Factory, or?
Close. No, you should. If you listen to books on, you said you like to listen to audiobooks. You should get it sometime. Yeah. It's by Chip Heath and I forget the other guy's name, but it's about what makes ideas stick. It's really, really good. They have a great little formula called success, which is simple, unexpected, concrete, credible, emotional, and stories. And if you use those things when you are crafting like a presentation or a sales presentation, or you keep those things in mind when you're trying to get an idea across, like it's really, really great. So I use that. I've been using that stuff a lot lately. So that's what I've been reading. It's considered a classic marketing book. So it's a great one.
Hey, our $25 winner was Ryan Thompson.
Ryan Thompson, $25. Congratulations. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I can't say this enough, by the way, everybody out there. I mean, to all of you that come to this show every Friday, that ask questions, that support us, that just hang out here with us on the jam session, thank you for making this so awesome and allowing us to take up some of your time on a Friday. I know sometimes it's just a lot of goofing off. Like we have the Christmas we have the Christmas extravaganza. Remember, we do that every year. We've got holiday shows. Like, man, it's just been so much fun to do this over the past 200 episodes. And really awesome.
Have you done a Halloween one?
We have a Halloween one. Like, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, I'm looking forward to the next 200. It's gonna be amazing. Ooh,
yeah, I'd like to suggest, Tom, I've been at you for years about this, as well as I want to see more magic tricks, mate. I really enjoy your magic. I think you're very, very good at it, and I love seeing your magic tricks.
They said I need a hat I can put on my thinking cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thinking cap.
Yeah.
I put it on for ideas, just so I can get good ideas. Awesome. Well, look, man, again, it's been awesome to do these 200 episodes with you. It's awesome to do this 200th episode with Richie, who started out watching the live show and is now on here doing it with me. I mean, really awesome to see this. Again, the Remote Millionaires, we're going to be closing down the application process. If you want to make sure you can talk to somebody and see if it's a good fit, no stress, none of that stuff, go to offlinesharks.com/RM info. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Now, one more thing before we go, because we do this at the end of every show.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
We always give away Cash App money to people that comment on the wins, right? So every week, if you're new to this show, every week, if you just go to the win post in the Facebook group and leave a comment, you will have a chance to win Cash App money. We just picked 2 random people. So let me see who the team has picked today. So our winners today are Jerry Wright and Regina Floyd. Those 2 $25 winners, that makes $200 that we've given away during this live show. So congratulations, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for supporting the 200th episode of the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session. We are excited and have some awesome stuff planned for the next 200. So carve out this day. We do it every week. Same shark time, same shark channel. We'll see you here next Friday. Stay safe. Practice Aloha. We'll talk to you then, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam Session, your weekly marketing live show, always bringing you the latest strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with the Remote Millionaires Podcast at remotemmillionaires.com/podcast and Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.